push it later. Richard Paraun.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker.
Tēnā koe.
Tēnā tātou e hui e noho tahi I rota te whare I te pōnei. Engari, mua te haere tonu tōku kōrero, hi he anau kia mihi atu ki te tahi o ngā kaimahi o te whare nei I hinga atu I tērā atu rā. Nā reire tuhi hau I ti parapara, tēnei te mihi atu kia koe, takato mai rā I runga te ata mira o mātua, o tō mātua tūpuna, nā rātau I tatari ki a koe I tēnei wā. Nā reira aha koa e puto nohi o tēnei mihi, ka nui te aroha ki a koe me tō hānau. Nā reira e kara haere hoki atu. Hoki mai ki a tātou te hunga ora, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr. Speaker, we have had 6 speakers from both sides of the House, two supporting the bill, the rest obviously opposing. It is about the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi, and yet not one speaker has articulated what those principles are. What those principles are. And so I want to quote from the good book, Mr. Speaker, and you will appreciate this, and it's taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 8. Ki te kahore hoki e marama te tangi o te tetere, ko wai e takatū ki te whawhai. Ka pai, I will translate it, Mr. Speaker. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself for the battle? And I use that quote, Mr. Speaker, because of the uncertainty as to what those principles are. Now, Mr. Bennett may know those principles, but then, if I go back to the early settlement bills, reference was made to the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi, and yet none of those principles were articulated in those pieces of legislation. And yet recent settlement bills make no mention of the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi as part of the legislation. Maybe in that part of the explanation, but not certainly in the body of the legislation. And so New Zealand First's position has always been, because of the uncertainty of just what those principles are, then we would not be supporting legislation like this. Number one. Number two, the bill talks about elect, thus giving an option. So what happens if half the team choose not to take that option and only the other half does? If the sponsor of this bill was serious about the intent, then she would have used the word must rather than say elect. But she didn't. So even she has some uncertainty about it, Mr. Speaker. The other thing is, if you look on the explanatory note, and the third line from the bottom, and the member who sponsors this bill might want to read the word Treaty of Waitangi instead of Treaty of Waitangi. So that suggests to me that this has been put through with some haste, without even being able to spell the word Waitangi properly. Hey? Now you're talking about an oath. Hey? Shouldn't it be correct in every sense of the word? No. No. So until the actual principles are articulated, Mr. Speaker, New Zealand First will certainly be opposing the bill. Thank you.
The Honourable Christopher Finlay.